What have you heard about infinite banking, cash flow banking, be your own banker? If you've Googled it, you're probably wondering, is it legit or is it a scam? It depends. And in this video, we're going to explain. Welcome, I'm Matt.
And I'm Brian. And we're the Predictable Wealth Advocates. And we help ambitious millennials secure a predictable financial future without sacrificing their current lifestyle by thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, so let's get into this. Infinite banking, be your own banker, cash flow banking. It's a strategy that's been employed by some of the wealthiest individuals in our nation's history, the biggest corporations you can think of, and yet very few ordinary people like us use it or know about it. And if you've heard about it, done any research, had a financial guru or financial advisor talk to you about it, chances are you haven't heard anything positive. For example, I have a friend named Mark. He's a 34-year-old dad who's smart, well-employed, and wants to make sure he can reach his ultimate goal of becoming wealthy. His biggest issue is he doesn't know how to do it on the income he's currently getting, because while it's good, he can't support his 2 kids and his stay-at-home wife while still having large sums to invest and move upwards financially. Every day he gets more and more concerned because he understands the value of a dollar invested today is much more impactful down the road. So time is ticking and he's worried he's never going to reach these goals. One night last fall, Mark and I sat down and we were discussing his situation in depth. And when I'd proposed something like cash flow banking, his reply would be straight out of the Dave Ramsey school of thought. 1, there isn't a good rate of return. 2, what about the tax that's applied when you pull out your money? 3, you can't pass down any money to the loved ones when you die. And 4, isn't there a high commission that the agent or whoever sets up this concept for you gets at the very beginning? And I'm going to answer these the same way I answered Mark when we had our first conversation. Let's start with number 1, the rate of return. Infinite banking has the ability to generate compound interest at a guaranteed rate, usually between 4 to 6%, and this is never going to change. The rate is not like the 12% or the 10% rate return you're sold to when you decide to invest in, say, a mutual fund. And we don't disagree. However, there is another side that's not talked about. That 10 or 12% that you're guaranteed, is that really going to be that way when the market crashes? Can you get your money out when you want it? And what happens when that years of hard-earned money is erased? Infinite banking, cash flow banking, be your own banker does not outperform great investments. Actually, it's not an investment at all. It's a strategic process for your entire financial future. But the attractive part about it is that while your capital is earning your money, plus or minus 4%, you're able to use that capital as collateral and borrow against it, which ultimately means you're able to use it to invest in, say, the market or real estate with literally no penalty and without resetting your compounding interest, meaning your money is still growing for you even when you invest it somewhere else. Number 2, the tax applied when you pull out your money. And to be transparent, this is why we exist. We help consumers not get taken advantage of by these agents who don't specialize in the concept of infinite banking or cash flow banking and that have no idea how to correctly set up this vehicle. Here's the truth. If you don't set up your bank properly, yes, you will be taxed. However, if you work with a professional who's done this hundreds of times and understands what to do, what not to do when setting up your bank, this will not be a problem. Number 3, you can't pass down any money to loved ones from your bank once you die. This is very similar to my last point. If your agent is not an expert and doesn't understand the rules, requirements of what it takes to set up an infinite bank properly, you could lose the money you put into it. However, when you work with qualified individuals who know what they're doing, this is not an issue. Your money will roll over to your family and your kids after you die. The moral of the story, find someone who knows what they're doing, who doesn't need your business because they have plenty of referrals already from satisfied customers. And finally, number 4, there's a high commission at the start. This is true. Whoever you work with will get a commission when you start this concept. However, this initial fee will be greatly overwhelmed in a short time by the amount of compounding interest you accrue. Also, whenever you work with a professional to grow your money, you will have to pay, either to get access to the investing opportunity or for the time that you're requiring of your advisor. And what's it worth to hire a financial agent that you'll pay one time and they will help you for the rest of your life? And as a bonus, I just want to drive this point home just a little bit more as far as how awesome this strategy can be for you. The money in your bank is largely hidden in case of bankruptcy, lawsuit, etc. So there's no concern, no worries if something like that was to happen. After the conversation, Mark realized that the concept itself was important, but not nearly as important as working with someone who could walk him hand in hand through the process. After getting connected with a pre-vetted agent, Mark's excited. He's on track to secure that predictable financial future and build a life for his family he can be proud of.
All right, so now that you've learned a little bit more about the infinite banking concept, is it legit? Is it not legit? Depending on who you talk to or what you've researched, you now know that the answer is, it depends. Just really like anything, right? It depends who you're connected with. It depends what you know. If you don't know what you're doing, that's where the risk comes into play. So that's really why we specialize in connecting you with pre-vetted agents that meet a very strict criteria so that you can win with this concept if you choose to move forward with it. So if you like what you see and you'd like to continue to grow your knowledge about the concept, keep watching the videos and we'll see you next time.